I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. I only had one game this past week since we've talked, and it was a game against Austin Peay at home. Obviously, a very exciting game for us to follow. The men's game. It was on TV, went into overtime, so a lot of the crowd was excited. There was still a buzz in the arena, and a lot of people stuck around and knew it was going to be a tough battle against a well-coached and Austin Peay team was playing extremely hard, trying to fight to get in the tournament, just like we are and a lot of other people in this league right now. And that's what happened. They did an outstanding job defensively, and we struggled in the first half to get into any kind of real rhythm. The second half, I thought we executed better. Mariah Robinson had a great game for us with a double-double with 17 points and 14 rebounds, and Erica Sisk led us in scoring as a freshman. That's nice to be able to say that. I think her play continues to improve as she built upon her recent games where she played very well. And Erica Burgess played well, especially in the second half of this game, which was a big lift for us. She played a complete game, scored, rebounded, had some assists, did a nice job defensively, and we certainly needed it with Tessa Elkins in foul trouble for seemed like the entire game. So we were I'm a little under the weather, excited to get out of there with a win. Felt like it's very important for us to hold serve and win our home games as we fight to get in the tournament and hopefully prepare ourselves for a decent seed in the tournament.
Did Kelsey Dirks get hurt from that game?
She tweaked the knee a little bit. She's fine. It's kind of a deal where she could have played. She was cleared to play, right after that. They examined her, and the athletic trainer, Allie, came to me and said, hey, Kelsey's good to go if you need her. I just didn't feel like it was necessary to play her at that point. At one point in the second half, I got her up off the bench to talk to her and then sat her back down. Kelsey's a tough kid, just works hard, does a very good job for us, and I just didn't feel like I wanted to throw her out there until we had a chance to further evaluate her.
Last 5 games, 33% from the field and 18% three-point range for your opponents. In conference play, that's as good of a 5-game stretch as I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's we've been really locked in. You got to give our student athletes a lot of credit. They've done a really nice job of what we're asking them to do defensively, and it's everybody that gets in the game right now. We have very, very few blown assignments, and those you're going to make mistakes. I really don't believe there's ever been a possession played that somebody doesn't make some mistake, but as far as we're concerned, evaluating game film looks just as good as it does in person. I think we certainly need to continue to improve in that area, but you can't be anything but pleased as a coach right now with how they're handling those assignments. I just hope we're able to maintain that type of focus on the defensive end, because we certainly need it, because we struggle to score at times.
Talk about having a road trip like this right in the middle of conference.
Yeah, it's we have a big break in our league every year, and the question is, do you use that time to rest, or do you try to stay in a rhythm? And there's no right or wrong answer when you're making your schedule out, because you have no idea how your season's going to go. Sometimes you feel like, man, I wish we hadn't scheduled a game during here because we really need a break. I think it's important for our team to stay in a rhythm, to stay used to having to be focused on their assignments defensively, to build continuity for our offense. So we're heading down to New Orleans, an athletic team, a couple of really good guards and Thomas sisters, and they have some good size. It'll be a challenge for us. The question is, will we maintain the focus that we've had in conference games as we step out of a non-conference game? And although it's not a ESPN production or anything, it's similar to the guys having to step out of the league at this time of year and play a bracket buster game.
Is this gap in any way connected to the fact that the guys have a gap for the bracket buster?
It's been that way for years and years and years. Before we had divisions, before when we played everybody twice, that may be the reason for it, but it's as long as I can remember, it's been that way where we'll have 7 to 9 days off. Every team in the league has a gap in their schedule like that, and not necessarily a bad thing. It's just the way the schedule works out when the conference does the conference schedule.
I was just curious with the bracket buster ending, and I guess the men won't have a gap like that next year. Whether
I have no idea because everybody's gap is not during the same time.
okay.
Like, some teams had their week off the second week of conference play. Some teams do not have it until the week before the tournament. So, it kind of rotates and falls where it falls in your schedule, and you deal with it. A lot of teams on our side of things took some of the games around Christmas time that the conference had scheduled and rescheduled them during their break. So they're playing conference games during what was originally their 7-8 day break in the conference schedule. We rescheduled one of those games, and we're playing it the same day as the bracket buster. But we've got a gap, and last year we brought Longwood in and played that game at home. This year we're going on the road to New Orleans, and they'll come back to Murray next year.
Any things that will there be time to get to do some things down there? Is this?
We'll go down, and with the NCAA rules, you're not allowed to leave. You can only leave 48 hours before an event. But I want them to see a little bit of New Orleans and experience that culture. We have a lot of players on our team that have never been to New Orleans, and some coaches that have never been to New Orleans. So I want them to be able to experience a little bit. The New Orleans arena is pretty close to the French Quarter, and we're staying down there in that area in downtown. So we'll go down and we'll do a couple of sightseeing things on Tuesday, and then turn our attention to New Orleans.
Does this game have, just for comparison purposes, a Jacksonville State feel in that it's a team that's struggling? Is it important that if you do get a lead to kind of keep the hammer down a little?
There's no question. They play. Watching them on film, they play very hard. It's very similar to Jacksonville State and Austin Peay, to be honest with you. They've been close. They've been in some ball games where they've had chances for wins against very, very good competition. And then they've had some games where they haven't looked so good, like just about every team. But we're going to have to be focused on the task at hand to win the basketball game, and that's the reason we're going down there. I mean, it's a business trip. It's not I say we're going to see the sights some, but it's not a sightseeing trip. We have to be focused and ready to take care of business, or we'll come back with a loss.